The scene shifts to a meeting between Iron Man and other characters at a sanctum. There is talk about magical changes happening and a prophecy of the midnight sun. The tone is serious, but with some typical snarky banter thrown in. An intense battle breaks out involving magic and technology. The Sorcerer Supreme demonstrates their mystic powers while facing off against multiple opponents. The fight showcases the clash between magical and technological forces. A major battle occurs at the Sanctum involving several heroes including Carol and Bruce. There is discussion of gamma spikes and protective wards while fighting against Hydra forces. The situation is getting increasingly intense. Lilith, the mother of demons, makes a dramatic appearance. The heroes struggle against her power, revealing her as a major threat. The prophecy begins to unfold, leading to a crucial moment in the story. The scene transitions to Salem, Massachusetts, specifically to the Abbey, home of the Midnight Suns. This location serves as a key setting for upcoming events, with mentions of past conflicts and preparations for future battles. A resurrection ritual takes place, bringing back an important figure known as the Hunter. This moment marks a turning point in the story, as ancient powers are awakened to face the coming threat. The Hunter meets Blade, a day-walking vampire, and other members of the newly reformed Midnight Suns. Their interaction reveals important backstory and sets up team dynamics for the challenges ahead. The group explores the Abbey, which serves as their base of operations. Despite its haunted history, it's equipped with modern amenities. The team begins to come together, mixing ancient magic with contemporary technology. The Hunter learns they've been dormant for centuries, and the team prepares to face the looming threat of Lilith and the elder god Chthon. A voice seems to be the only clue available after a long sleep. The memories can be restored through rituals in the Sanctum, but attempts to contact Wanda are failing due to mystical interference from a pocket dimension. The situation involves an enchanted Babylonian soul glass and the dark forest pressing against magical wards. There are concerns about losing contact with both the Sanctum and Wanda during this crucial time. With new recruits around and fluctuations in the astral spectrum, something seems off. The usual magical indicators are not appearing as expected, possibly due to gamma interference, though that seems unlikely given past experiences with the wards. The situation grows more complex as Lilith has managed to breach the Sanctum. For the first time, the ability to predict future events has become unclear and fuzzy. This is particularly concerning since an apprentice is in danger and the normal foresight abilities are not functioning properly. The Sanctum Sanctorum is revealed to be a crucial magical focal point that protects reality itself. It contains divine manuscripts and immense power, though its normal functioning appears to be compromised. While there is confidence in Wanda's abilities, the inability to reinforce the magical wards is concerning. Time, space, and reality, the foundations of magic, are becoming unstable, affecting portal functionality. The current location exists between two worlds, serving as a mystical anchor point. The situation has become increasingly complicated with various magical disruptions occurring. The group finds themselves in New York, with the protective wards still functioning but under threat. They encounter resistance from Hydra forces, though these enemies are not believed to be the main cause of the ward disruptions. The situation becomes increasingly dangerous. A confrontation occurs with Venom, who appears different from their usual heroic self. The battle intensifies as Venom, now aligned with dark forces, threatens the group. Spider-Man arrives to help manage the situation, providing some needed backup in the fight. After the battle, there are discussions about the mission's outcome. While not ideal, it's considered an impressive first outing, given recent circumstances. The focus remains on recovering both Wanda and the Sanctum, though the path forward remains unclear. Tony Stark introduces the Spark, a special communication device exclusively for superheroes. It includes access to Superlink, a private social network for heroes. This technology represents an attempt to keep the hero community connected and coordinated. A heartfelt reunion occurs with Charlie, who has been waiting for 300 years. There are discussions about destiny and heroism, emphasizing the importance of choosing what type of hero to become. The situation continues to evolve with new recruits joining and changes happening within the organization. The scene opens with a discussion about a nightmare and a containment spell protecting a facility from incineration. The Forge has undergone significant changes during a period of rest, now featuring a Sumerian fire demon named Babs, who powers the furnace. Despite its scary nature, the demon-powered forge has proven quite useful for various tasks, including molecular bonding and crafting equipment. The forge is being used to create upgraded armor after noticing previous protection issues against a venom creature. The new armor demonstrates impressive craftsmanship, though there is playful debate about whether it needs a cloak. The collaboration between the craftsmen has produced remarkable results, creating something nearly indestructible and perfectly sized. There is lighthearted banter about workspace sharing and cape preferences. The demon-powered forge proves surprisingly efficient, outperforming modern technology like arc reactors. The speed of armor production impresses everyone involved. The atmosphere is casual despite the serious work being accomplished. The new armor is described as a technological marvel, featuring impact-resistant carbon composites, special alloy mesh, and built-in communication capabilities. It's designed to be lightweight, nearly indestructible, and modular for future modifications. There's discussion about the interesting blend of magic and technology, with some expressing preference for predictable scientific principles. The facility is described as legitimately haunted, with strange occurrences like mirrors that look back and rooms that rearrange themselves. A mysterious shape-shifting cat has been spotted around the premises. The demon-powered forge provides nearly limitless power, though it can't simply magic away all problems. Proper components and knowledge are still required. A personal background is shared about growing up as part of the military-industrial complex, losing parents to corporate rivalry, attending MIT, and eventually building a supersuit after a life-changing injury. This led to a career fighting crime, though some close associates consider these choices foolish. The discussion turns to medical concerns, addressing post-awakening symptoms like grogginess, nausea, and memory loss. These are described as common side effects of being pulled back into consciousness. Recent events have been traumatic, with significant losses including a sanctum and a protégé named Wanda. The focus shifts to analyzing a dangerous gamma-based substance nicknamed Coil, which Hydra is using for enhancement purposes. Plans are being made to repurpose this technology for equipment upgrades rather than direct injection. The goal is to use Hydra's own gamma-powered technology against them in future confrontations. A discussion about finding refuge at the Abbey and joining a unique group called the Midnight Suns takes place. The team acknowledges they are possibly the only ones who understand the true threat Lilith poses to the world. While the team may be inexperienced, proper training will help them overcome challenges. Carol Danvers introduces herself, mentioning her Captain Marvel identity, but preferring to go by Carol. The conversation shifts to a pressing issue involving an invulnerable monster in the sewers that swallowed the Sanctum. Rather than relying solely on magical solutions, Carol suggests finding alternative approaches, potentially involving Hydra. The discussion moves to technical matters involving gamma signatures and quantum phenomena. Bruce Banner, working remotely, identifies unique gamma readings that require investigation. Despite some communication difficulties, the team works to analyze and track these unusual energy signatures. The team discovers the location of suspicious activity, an abandoned warehouse in a dangerous part of town. They prepare to investigate while dealing with various personal dynamics, including references to Bruce's current inability to transform into the Hulk. The investigation reveals Hydra activity and the presence of Fess, now known as Faustus, a mad scientist working with both Hydra and Lilith. The team observes concerning combinations of magic and gamma radiation in the warehouse, requiring careful tactical consideration. A confrontation ensues, with Hydra forces attempting to escape with mysterious cargo. The situation involves dangerous combinations of gamma radiation and dark magic, requiring the team to prevent Hydra's escape while avoiding the hazardous energy combinations. After the mission, the focus shifts to personal interactions and team bonding. Discussions about rest, recovery, and the importance of building relationships within the team take place. The atmosphere becomes more casual as they plan movie night activities. The evening concludes with deep conversations about past experiences and personal histories. Topics include dealing with family trauma, adjusting to modern life after long absences, and understanding various magical artifacts and abilities. The discussion reveals both personal struggles and the process of team members getting to know each other better. A group of normal kids discovered their parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Each child had a powerful birthright. The team included Chase with mad science gear, Molly with super strength, Carolina with solar powers, Gert, who had a telepathic dinosaur named Old Lace, and someone who handled blood magic. They eventually had to stop their parents from destroying reality. The team members went separate ways. Molly attended a school for gifted youngsters, Carolina married alien nobility, Gert passed away, Chase lived in LA with Old Lace, and Alex died alongside their parents after choosing their side. The blood magic user only uses their staff when truly needed, relying on conventional magic otherwise. The conversation shifts to discuss Agatha, who died in an accident caused by her protégée Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Despite Agatha being incredibly powerful, she was incinerated instantly while trying to help Wanda control her growing abilities. Wanda was then sent to study under Doctor Strange at the Sanctum Sanctorum. Agatha appears as a spirit, revealing she finds her non-corporeal state liberating. She leads the hunter to a blood gate, a special portal that only they can pass through. Beyond lies trials created by elder gods where descendants must prove their worth to receive blessings. The bloodline has direct connections to the old gods, whose blessings can be useful in certain circumstances. The sanctuary location near Salem was chosen deliberately due to its attunement to magical forces, making it nearly impregnable over centuries. A mysterious Hydra container is discovered containing powerful magical energies. Tony Stark and Strange debate whether to open it, ultimately finding the Eternity Dagger inside, an artifact previously stored in Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. This suggests Hydra may be specifically targeting mystical artifacts. The scene concludes with a spirit of vengeance bonded individual inviting the hunter to spar. They mention their spirit is nicknamed Sparky, though its real name is complex and symbol-like. Due to a past incident, the spirit is not allowed inside certain areas. Captain Marvel, referred to as Carol, discusses a time-sensitive lead on Hydra operations in the city. However, there's a major obstacle. Their gatekeeper magic has disappeared after receiving the mission update, leaving them without the ability to travel to New York. The search for magic begins, with hints that she might be with Wanda. During the search, there's an awkward interaction about magic possibly having issues with certain team members. The Abbey is described as being full of magical elements, with hexes and curses everywhere. A conversation reveals admiration for Captain Marvel's abilities, especially her heroic actions during an operation against Fuss where she absorbed a bomb. The discussion turns personal, touching on expressing feelings of affection, though one party seems uncomfortable with the topic. The scene shifts to Wanda's room, where Magic is found reading Wanda's first grimoire, given by Agatha. There is discussion about Wanda's departure and the challenge of saving the world without her. Magic expresses deep concern about Wanda's fate in a hell dimension. Magic reluctantly agrees to open a portal, expressing frustration about being the only one capable of creating interdimensional passages. The team prepares for a mission involving Hydra's activities in New York, with emphasis on gathering intelligence. A confrontation with Hydra ensues, involving a gamma disruptor and a helicopter chase. Fuss taunts the heroes about their pursuit and makes references to someone's mother, leading to intense combat and strategic discussions about stopping Hydra's plans. Magic shares concerns about sensing something dark and familiar at the docks, along with unusual energy shifts in Limbo. She chooses to keep these observations private until she can better understand their significance, showing caution about alarming the Avengers. The narrative continues with a tense scene in the library involving Sarah, who's struggling with loss and grief. There's discussion about centuries-old relationships and the different ways people process grief, particularly regarding Wanda's departure and Agatha's loss. The Abbey grounds contain many hidden secrets and mysterious energy. Wanda had been exploring these grounds and conducting experiments at an altar, documenting her findings in an ancient cipher that was difficult to decode. Her cryptic notes suggested she had discovered something significant during her investigation. At the altar, there were hidden flints representing basic elements that only appear for certain people when activated by special elemental rods. These rods were scattered during Wanda's experiments. A mission was proposed to locate and return these missing elemental rods to their proper place. An arcane key was provided as a reward for initial efforts. This key could open special chests that appear to worthy individuals. The whole situation remained intentionally mysterious, with translations of Wanda's notes continuing in the library. A confrontation occurred with someone claiming to be a mother figure, appearing in a deceptively innocent form. This entity expressed both joy and sinister intentions, suggesting hidden truths were being withheld by others. A serious discussion took place about past events and current priorities, including the urgent situation with Venom threatening Spider-Man. Despite personal conflicts, the team agreed to help track down Venom and assist Spider-Man. Information was revealed about the mysterious blood, an ancient race descended from elder gods known for their strict bloodline maintenance. Their legacy continues through rare descendants, though many potential bloodline members might be unaware of their heritage. Discussion of mystical elements included moon seals, which serve as both locks and keys when wielded by those with the right power. Words of power were explained as invocations specifically attuned to descendants of the blood, used to activate various areas within the Abbey grounds. The team coordinated efforts to track down Venom, utilizing various technologies including Oscorp satellites. The situation became increasingly urgent as Venom posed a growing threat in public areas. A confrontation with Venom escalated near a museum, with priority given to protecting civilians. Despite attempts to reason with Eddie Brock, the situation devolved into a physical conflict, highlighting the dangerous nature of the symbiote-human combination. During the confrontation, Venom displays aggressive behavior while sensing and taunting about fear. There's an attempt to lighten the mood with jokes about garlic and lunch offers, but Venom remains focused on his threatening agenda, boasting about strength and eternal power. The battle with Venom intensifies, with observations about his Wendigo-like fighting style. While seemingly unstoppable, he's described as merely annoying. The confrontation culminates in a dramatic moment representing New York's resistance against the invasion. After an exceptionally loud battle, Spider-Man references his enhanced hearing from the radioactive spider bite. The scene concludes in a safe location, with acknowledgement of Spider-Man's impressive efforts during the conflict. The conversation shifts to a lighter discussion about vampire movies, expressing skepticism about how vampire stories romanticize dangerous creatures. There's criticism of the common trope of centuries-old vampires pursuing teenagers, comparing it humorously to relationships between predator and prey. The aftermath of the battle shows concern for Spider-Man's injuries from Venom, hoping for medical assistance. There's recognition of the Hunter's combat abilities, leading to a suggestion of a friendly competition to compare fighting techniques. A lighthearted moment occurs as Spider-Man practices his hero voice, trying to sound more intimidating. This reveals a more vulnerable side as he seeks to improve his image among the team members. The discussion turns to Spider-Man's secret identity, with him carefully maintaining his privacy while expressing concerns about protecting loved ones from Lilith's threats. The conversation highlights the balance between trust and necessary secrecy. Captain discusses ongoing investigations involving radioactive substances and Hydra's activities. There's celebration of Spider-Man's successful rescue, viewing it as a significant victory in their fight against Lilith. The conversation explores themes of trust and family within the Midnight Suns, explaining how the group maintains secrecy while forming strong bonds. There's mention of their unusual headquarters features, including a demonically powered pizza oven. Peter Parker reveals his identity, presenting himself modestly as a regular person despite his extraordinary abilities. The group responds supportively, emphasizing his impressive actions in battle with Venom. The dialogue covers origin stories, with Spider-Man sharing his accidental transformation and the Hunter revealing their connection to Lilith. The conversation highlights the contrast between their paths to becoming heroes. A casual conversation wraps up between Peter and Hunter, with Peter feeling more comfortable opening up after their interaction. The discussion has been enlightening for both parties, and Peter expresses gratitude for their chat, mentioning something about a job well done the previous night. The topic shifts to a discussion about death and the afterlife. One participant has no memory of their time between death and resurrection, disappointing another who had hoped to gain insight into which religion might be correct. They joke about having a betting pool on the matter. A request for help planning Magic's surprise birthday party is made. The planning is still in early stages, with details about needed assistance to be worked out and communicated the following day. There's excitement about seeing the recipient's reaction to the surprise. Tension rises as some members feel excluded from important planning discussions with the Avengers and Caretaker regarding Fuss. Despite Spider-Man's positive relationship with the heroes, there's frustration about being left out of crucial decisions that affect everyone. The focus turns to investigating strange gamma energy signatures and tracking down a doctor specializing in gamma science, since Dr. Banner has gone off-grid. The doctor in question has connections to Hydra, suggesting a complicated history between the parties involved. A confrontation unfolds with a Hydra officer who has modified their device to be more effective against Captain Marvel. The situation becomes intense as the device proves more challenging to handle than previous encounters. The scene transitions to an eerie dream sequence involving maternal themes and manipulation. The dreamer is warned about being surrounded by heroes who might turn against them, adding an element of psychological tension to the narrative. A lighter moment occurs over a shared meal featuring Grandma Stark's famous linguine recipe. The conversation reveals personal details about Tony Stark, including his decision to maintain a dry bar and his grandmother's influence on his character. The narrative continues with an explanation about mutants in the modern world, touching on characters like Wolverine and Sabretooth. The discussion reveals the complexities of being a mutant in society, including references to anti-mutant hysteria and the Mutant Registration Act. A discussion about Sabretooth reveals concerns about being tracked. There are strong feelings that the situation with Sabretooth isn't over, especially since he's targeting someone specific. The mutant community is described as small but complex, with Sabretooth being particularly problematic. The shop is introduced as a creative workspace where projects can be developed freely. It's specifically set up away from Tony Stark and Doctor Strange to avoid their interference and criticism. The space serves as both an auto shop and workshop for different types of projects. A project is revealed that helps deal with Venom Eddie. It includes a device that makes someone harder to detect by the symbiote and another prototype that creates subsonic pulses to counter symbiote tendrils. Plans are made to miniaturize the technology for suit integration. Dr. Banner returns after being offline due to a gamma radiation spike that affected Manhattan's communications. He requests to perform scans to study the gamma shift's effects and potential countermeasures. A crisis unfolds as Hydra launches simultaneous attacks across multiple global locations, including New York, Paris, Moscow, Singapore, and Los Angeles. The Avengers' forces are stretched thin, though they still maintain control of their tower. The tower comes under attack with power failures in multiple arc reactors. Hydra gunships approach as defensive systems fail. Plans are made to restore systems while defending against the incoming threat. During the battle at the tower, an arc reactor begins going critical. Tony reveals an emergency shutdown code, but the situation becomes more complicated as Hydra forces intensify their attack. The situation takes a dark turn as it's revealed Lilith has corrupted Bruce Banner. The Gamma Accelerator falls into enemy hands, and Banner turns against his allies. This devastating development leaves Tony particularly shaken, knowing the serious implications of the Hulk being under Lilith's control. Steve Rogers introduces himself properly to Hunter, apologizing for earlier misjudgments. The conversation shifts to Rogers' background as America's first super soldier, explaining how he was the only successful result of Dr. Erskine's procedure. They discuss his role with the Avengers, clarifying that he didn't create the team but joined after Bruce Banner quit. The dialogue reveals Steve Rogers' unique situation, being 102 years old due to being frozen in ice since 1945. They discuss shared experiences of adjusting to different time periods. The conversation then turns to Crossbones, revealing past conflicts, including a failed attempt on Rogers' life. Concerns about Wanda's safety emerge following Banner's transformation. The scene shifts to an intense dialogue between characters about Dr. Banner, with discussions of manipulation and control. There is debate about true purpose and freedom versus being used as weapons. The focus shifts to planning and strategy discussions using traditional methods versus modern technology. The team struggles with Banner's betrayal, particularly affecting Tony. There is tension around making difficult decisions in combat situations and the moral implications of taking drastic action. A lighter moment occurs as characters discuss feeling out of place among the Avengers. They share encouragement and support, acknowledging that everyone has earned their place on the team through different means. The conversation maintains a casual, supportive tone. A surprise birthday party creates mixed reactions. While some see it as a needed distraction from current challenges, others, particularly Magic, seem uncomfortable with the attention. The team tries to maintain positivity despite ongoing serious situations. team members reflect on their relationships and recent events, particularly concerning Bruce Banner. They discuss the importance of maintaining connections and not letting teammates become isolated. The conversation emphasizes the need for better interpersonal communication. The party situation reaches a breaking point, with Magic expressing frustration about unwanted attention. Concerns about Alana arise, with discussions about using the Staff of One to reach her in Limbo. The focus shifts to fixing relationships and making things right. A conversation begins about undertaking a potentially risky journey through Limbo to find Magic. Using the Staff of One, a portal is opened to enter this mysterious realm. The journey is described as potentially trippier than usual trips through Limbo, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty and adventure. Upon arrival in Limbo, Hunter encounters Magic, who expresses surprise at their presence. The discussion reveals Magic's deep personal struggles and a mysterious creature that brought her to Limbo. Magic confesses this day marks an anniversary of what she considers her greatest weakness, stemming from a childhood decision where she trusted the wrong entity. The scene shifts to a more intimate moment where Magic shares her connection to music found in Limbo. This music, discovered among discarded items, holds special meaning as it became her sole companion during isolated times. The conversation reveals Magic's growth and how she now creates more meaningful moments, though past struggles still linger. Magic explains how her current space in Limbo became her safe haven, rejecting manipulation attempts by a mysterious creature. The conversation wraps up with Hunter preparing to leave, showing signs of a developing friendship between the two characters. The narrative shifts to a discussion about Wanda, revealing family tensions and the need to find her. The conversation suggests Wanda's disappearance has caused conflict, particularly with Sarah, who appears to hold unresolved grievances. A strategic discussion unfolds about Hydra forces occupying the Sanctum Tower in Manhattan. The conversation emphasizes the need for immediate action and mentions various challenges, including a symbiote shell that has proven difficult to overcome. The story reveals that Wanda has been reaching out through dreams, raising concerns about potential control by Lilith. This discovery prompts immediate action to warn the Midnight Suns about the situation. A group attempts a risky tracking ritual to locate Wanda, despite potential consequences. The ritual appears to go wrong when participants break connection rules, leading to unexpected results. The scene shifts to a confrontation in a secret facility where the group encounters resistance and questions about their presence. The situation becomes increasingly tense as true motivations are questioned. The encounter reaches its climax with the revelation that Wanda is under Lilith's influence. The situation becomes dire as former allies face off, highlighting themes of betrayal and the complexity of heroism versus villainy. A tense confrontation is happening with Lilith and Wanda Maximoff. Through Lilith's influence, Wanda has become incredibly powerful, reaching a transcendent state that surpasses her previous abilities as the Scarlet Witch. The raw energy flowing through her form is remarkable, but concerning. Bruce Banner gets involved in the encounter, with plans to capture targets alive. Wanda shows signs of internal struggle, hesitating before attacking. Nico tries to reach out to Wanda, but fails to get through to her, as she seems completely under Lilith's control. After a failed attempt to save Wanda, the group discusses the risks of their mission. Nico is particularly shaken after being attacked by her friend. Despite the danger, some still believe saving Wanda is worth the risk. Everyone agrees they need rest to process the night's traumatic events. The mood is heavy as the group tries to lighten things with casual conversation about artisan sodas. They discuss various themed flavors like Thor's Thirst and Black Widow Bubbles. The discussion shifts to trust issues between the heroes and their different approaches to saving Wanda. Tensions rise between Doctor Strange and other heroes regarding their handling of Wanda's situation. Strange expresses frustration about not being consulted, while others question his ego and methods. The conversation reveals deeper conflicts about experience versus youth in handling supernatural threats. Nico and Hunter share a moment of connection, with Nico appreciating Hunter's efforts to include her. They discuss generational differences in communication styles, with Nico trying to help Hunter understand modern slang and social dynamics. A book club is formed as a way to build team bonds. The group discusses reading The Art of War by Sun Tzu. They share amusing stories about previous failed book club attempts, including an incident involving Hulk that resulted in property damage at Avengers Tower. After intense combat, the group explores different ways to maintain balance and control through yoga and meditation. Blade and Hunter discuss various techniques and approaches to mental discipline, emphasizing the importance of mind-body connection in their training. The team investigates a journal written in ancient Atlantean, discovering details about a potential smuggling operation. They uncover information about a shipping facility being used by Hydra to move artifacts from the Sanctum. The group prepares to infiltrate the facility, with their vampire ally taking point on the stealth mission. A tense confrontation with Hydra forces reveals their involvement in occult activities and artifact theft from a sanctum. The setup appears to be a distribution center with sinister purposes, suggesting deeper involvement from a maternal figure. The atmosphere is filled with foreboding as the scope of Hydra's operations becomes apparent. A major confrontation occurs with a powerful entity, resulting in an explosive situation involving mysterious energies. The battle culminates in a dramatic clash involving both darkness and light, with references to destiny and an inability to escape fate. The aftermath reveals that someone has been unconscious for days following an explosion involving alien and mystic energies. A protective collar remains intact despite the intense forces. Key figures like Strange and Stark have been anxiously waiting to examine the situation, while others express concern about the mounting dangers. Discussion turns to past achievements against various cosmic threats like Thanos and Galactus, contrasting with current challenges involving alien entities. There is speculation about a deeper destiny beyond the current conflict with Lilith, though details remain mysterious. The atmosphere is a mix of casual banter and serious strategic planning. Technical discussions about studying symbiote samples reveal the need for fresh specimens from the original source. Plans are made for a new device to collect and maintain the molecular integrity of samples. The situation requires careful handling due to the unstable nature of the specimens. A maternal figure expresses concern over recent events, particularly regarding interactions with alien powers. There's tension around a damaged collar and discussions of control versus freedom. The conversation reveals deep-seated conflicts about identity and potential, with hints at hidden truths yet to be discovered. The focus shifts to tracking Venom across the city, with discussions about using both conventional and magical means. Personal doubts and team dynamics come into play, particularly regarding Peter's role and his feelings of being sidelined in important decisions despite his connection to the situation. A conversation takes place about speaking up and making suggestions. The Sinister Six had caused someone to miss their speech class. A caretaker checks on someone named Hunter after an explosion involving Venom, concerned about potential hidden injuries that might not be visible. Hunter reveals that their collar was cracked during the Venom explosion due to exposure to powerful dark energy. While not completely broken, this damage means Hunter must work harder to control their darkness and ensure their actions and words maintain integrity. The team observes Hydra forces fortifying a position near artifacts. They discuss getting a symbiote sample, with Spider-Man arriving to help develop a plan. Despite some resistance about Spider-Man's involvement due to his age, the team acknowledges his battle experience. The plan shifts to using smaller bells that vibrate at similar frequencies to counter the enemy. There's intense confrontation with the symbiote, who threatens Spider-Man and mentions plans to harm Mary Jane. Spider-Man persists in getting the symbiote sample despite the risks, stating its importance for saving millions of New Yorkers. The plan involves dropping a church structure on Venom to contain him while retrieving the sample. The mission succeeds, with the team celebrating Spider-Man's unconventional but effective plan. They prepare to use the recovered sample, with Tony Stark's resources covering the church repair costs. A lighter moment occurs involving food hoarding concerns and living with teammates. The conversation shifts to deeper reflections about being good at one's job while dealing with moral implications of one's actions. Tension rises between Nico and the caretaker regarding trust and responsibilities. The situation reveals deeper fears about powerful abilities and the potential to follow dark paths like Wanda did. The discussion highlights the complex dynamics between fear, trust, and power within the team. A tense discussion unfolds about uncontrollable power and its connection to Lilith. There are concerns about following in Wanda's footsteps, who has already fallen. A determined voice declares they will do whatever necessary to rescue Wanda, even if it means confronting the caretaker. The scene hints at an upcoming conflict between duty and personal loyalty. A mysterious conversation occurs between a mother and child about meeting at the Sanctum Sanctorum. The mother warns about an advancing prophecy and begs for non-interference, acknowledging she cannot guarantee safety. The child remains defiant, determined to halt the prophecy despite the mother's pleas. An emotional exchange reveals tension between ancestral powers and personal choice. The mother hints at an unnamed threatening presence drawing them together. The conversation touches on themes of destiny, family bonds, and the struggle between darkness and light. Hunter expresses commitment to following a righteous path. The focus shifts to new protective gear crafted with symbiote technology. This custom alloy armor, designed to counter Venom, represents a collaboration between various parties. The gear promises improved effectiveness in upcoming confrontations, though some express skepticism about its untested nature. Discussion turns to the risks and challenges of dealing with symbiote technology. Warnings are shared about the symbiote's ability to influence its host, with comparisons made to supernatural experiences. The conversation emphasizes the serious nature of the upcoming mission and the importance of maintaining control. The team debates the wisdom of using symbiote-based equipment to infiltrate the compromised Sanctum Sanctorum. Concerns about corruption and control are balanced against necessity. The conversation highlights the risks of using enemy weapons while acknowledging the lack of alternatives. Strategic planning begins for reclaiming the Sanctum from Lilith and Hydra. Despite risks, the team shows determination to act. The moment includes touching displays of trust and solidarity among team members, with references to demon hunting experience and shared optimism. A confrontation erupts at the Sanctum involving Lilith. The situation quickly deteriorates as mystical defenses are breached. The team faces difficult choices about retreat versus standing their ground, with the integrity of the Sanctum hanging in the balance. The aftermath reveals devastating losses, particularly regarding the Sanctum. The team grapples with failure and shock, recognizing Lilith's unexpected strength. The situation is complicated by Bruce's involvement with Lilith, adding another layer to their challenges. The mood is heavy with disappointment and uncertainty about next steps. Despite facing setbacks, there is hope for tomorrow as the battle continues. Looking out at the Atlantic Ocean, reflection turns to personal growth. A former high school weakling now fights alongside legendary heroes at their secret Atlantic base. The transformation from playground outcast to warrior shows how far things have come. The loss of the Sanctum represents a major blow, with expectations that cities and nations will fall. The situation is dire, with Banner now serving as Lilith's weapon. Without the Sanctum acting as a supernatural barrier, demons and other dark forces are emerging. Reports surface of zombies and vampires appearing in Manhattan as the green sky grows ominously. An intense confrontation unfolds as forces clash over the parchment. The battle escalates with supernatural elements as altars are summoned and destroyed. Despite the prophecy's looming threat, resistance continues against Lilith's plans, though victory remains uncertain. A fierce combat sequence plays out with multiple opponents facing off. The fighting is brutal but inconclusive, with neither side gaining a decisive advantage. The violence at the carnival location leads to tragic consequences, raising questions about secrets kept and lives lost. The conversation shifts to personal histories and cosmic awareness. Tales of adventures across planets and encounters with various alien species are shared. The discussion reveals the existence of both hostile and friendly extraterrestrial races, while emphasizing the universal comfort of finding a good place to rest. Background information emerges about complex relationships and shared histories. Xavier's school serves as a home base for some, comparable to the Abbey, but with unique features like a baseball field. The conversation touches on different backgrounds, from Canadian wilderness to supernatural realms, highlighting the diverse paths that led to the current situation. During a casual conversation about magic, it was revealed that at a cousin's bachelorette party, an amusing but chaotic incident occurred where cartoon sea creatures were brought to life as exotic dancers. This resulted in an awkward situation involving a cartoon crab attempting to start a knife fight with a sushi chef. Since then, magic has only been used with clear judgment. While researching chaos magic to better understand Wanda's grimoire, an unexpected discovery was made of a rare book of Though. The book contained an ancient Egyptian account about a pharaoh affected by dark madness from reading the scrolls of Chthon, another name for the Darkhold. A traveling lightworker managed to cure the pharaoh, but died absorbing the corruption. The incantation used is scattered throughout the book. Tension builds as three teams, Midnight Suns, Avengers, and X-Men, struggle to work together effectively under one roof. The absence of a key mentor figure has impacted leadership and team dynamics. Despite attempts to maintain morale, there's evident strain in the group's cohesion. A crucial meeting reveals deep-seated tensions between the teams. The Midnight Suns feel undervalued, while the Avengers are viewed as overconfident. This dysfunction threatens their ability to unite against Lilith and Chthon, their common enemies. The situation calls for new leadership to bring the groups together. A turning point occurs as the Hunter is proposed as the new leader to unite all teams. This suggestion gains support, particularly from key figures who recognize the need for trust and respect among all members. The focus shifts to establishing equality between teams while acknowledging each group's unique strengths. The meeting concludes with a strategic revelation. It was designed to get team members thinking beyond their individual groups. A lighter moment follows as personal connections are strengthened through casual conversation about hobbies and shared experiences, including an unexpected mention of pinball tournaments. The evening winds down with a friendly poker game, showcasing unexpected skills and forming new bonds. Despite initial reservations, respect grows between unlikely allies as they learn more about each other through casual interaction. The scene ends with an interrupted search for information about Blaze's location. A Trojan horse security program was discovered in Howard Stark's research files, activated when unauthorized access is detected. The program revealed someone had been accessing files in the Southwest region, which raised suspicions about a bigger connection. Bruce Banner was found to be searching through old Stark files under Lilith's influence. The team discussed how Bruce had changed and become more dangerous, requiring careful handling of the situation. Bruce revealed he intentionally triggered the Trojan horse as an invitation to join forces with Lilith. He explained their plan to combine magic and science, starting with a gamma accelerator project. Bruce tried convincing Tony to help complete Howard's work. The facility became overrun with Hydra forces while Tony worked to hack the computer system. Despite the chaos, they managed to retrieve critical data before things escalated further. A massive battle broke out involving a creature called the Dread Maiden. Despite its intimidating appearance and abilities, the team managed to overcome this powerful foe. Tony revealed his complicated relationship with his father Howard, who had been researching gamma radiation and developing plans for an incredibly powerful gamma accelerator. This technology in Banner's hands could pose a severe threat. The team explored the possibility of using the gamma accelerator to destroy the Parchment of Power, which could prevent a prophecy from being fulfilled. Though seemingly impossible, they began formulating plans to infiltrate the facility. A plan was devised to summon Johnny Blaze using Robbie Rays and special magical cuffs. The team needed both riders to locate Blaze and retrieve an important page. A confrontation occurred with Lilith's forces over the mysterious page. Johnny Blaze appeared and made an unexpected move by reading from the page itself, causing chaos. A potential solution was discovered to remove Lilith's corruption from Wanda using an ancient incantation. However, the process requires someone to absorb the dark energy, which could be dangerous. A plan was made to perform this ritual at Banner's lab using a specific incantation. A discussion about studying lines and a theory about being a badass loner takes place. There is mention of Blaze reading a parchment aloud, which caused significant destruction to soldiers, though some seem unimpressed by this apocalyptic display. The conversation indicates tension around possession of an important parchment. The focus shifts to gaining confidence as a spirit of vengeance and discussion of vehicle repairs after desert damage. There is mention of a demonic barrier created by Banner that needs to be overcome. The conversation reveals conflict between different parties trying to retrieve and protect an important parchment. Talk turns to technological advances, including gamma accelerators and special gamma equipment. There is playful banter about gamma pants, while discussing serious matters of breaching a barrier around the Hydra lab. Strange is mentioned as someone who might be able to help pierce the barrier. Discussion about using technology for good rather than revenge occurs. Plans are made to find a gamma accelerator and help Banner while avoiding vengeful motivations. The conversation maintains a balance between serious planning and casual banter about everyday items like juicers. The narrative shifts to concerns about the Parchment of Power and its connection to the Darkhold. There are warnings about the book's dangerous nature and its ability to enslave and destroy those who try to control it. A mother-child relationship appears strained over conflicting views about these powerful artifacts. Information is shared about a beast called a Bargist, described as a demonic hound stalking the Abbey grounds. This creature might hold the key to breaking through a dark barrier. A plan is formed to track and capture the beast alive to harness its magic. Revelations about secret plans regarding Wanda emerge, along with discussions about protecting the Midnight Suns from dangerous artifacts. The conversation explores themes of responsibility and protection versus deception. The focus returns to hunting the supernatural beast. Wolverine joins the mission, having detected the creature's scent near Hunter's Folly. The group prepares to track the Bargist, emphasizing its importance to their overall mission and Strange's research. A mysterious scent was detected in the area, suggesting something dangerous nearby. A plan was made to track whatever was lurking around using a specially trained dog. The dog had a history connected to defending against Lilith's forces and clearing out monsters near portals. A portal had remained open longer than usual, seeming suspiciously easy. The group discovered the creature they were pursuing might be connected to Hydra experiments rather than having mythical origins. There was a request to capture it alive for research purposes, though this would prove challenging given the hunting team's aggressive nature. The connection to Hydra was confirmed, explaining why everything had fallen into place too perfectly. The creature was successfully contained, though it took considerable effort. Plans were made to transport it to a forge facility for further research. The group engaged in some downtime watching a cult classic movie, described as being bad but in an entertaining way. This social activity represented growing bonds between team members and efforts to help everyone feel more integrated into the group. A plan was developed to use the captured creature's energy to bypass a demon-specific barrier protecting a facility. The goal was to synthesize a disguise using the creature's properties without harming it, though this carried significant risks due to the concentration of demonic energy required. The team participated in a book club discussion of the art of war, analyzing its teachings about understanding enemies and adapting strategies. The discussion highlighted the importance of flexibility in warfare and avoiding rigid thinking when facing challenges. The book club conversation turned to team dynamics and unity versus working alone. They discussed how their greatest strength, being united, could potentially become a weakness if team members defected. Plans were made to read an interesting mix of legal and defense manual texts next. Personal connections continued developing through book club meetings, with members seeking advice about friendships and social dynamics within the group. The activities were helping to strengthen team bonds while maintaining professional focus. A special suit, dubbed the Demon Child Suit, was created using the captured creature's dark energy. Despite its unsettling appearance and smell, it was designed to allow passage through the demonic barrier. The team planned to use it to access a gamma accelerator in Banner's lab, potentially crucial for destroying an important parchment. The group is discussing a risky plan to retrieve Tony's gamma accelerator from Banner's lab, which they believe can destroy an important parchment. Despite Sarah's strong objections and concerns about the plan being reckless, the team is determined to proceed forward with their mission. Sarah reluctantly accepts she cannot stop them, but warns about the dangers ahead. The conversation shifts to discussing Wanda, with serious warnings about not showing mercy since she's beyond saving. The team is advised that purifying corruption is impossible and their only mission should be retrieving the accelerator safely. The focus needs to be on completing the mission without sacrificing themselves for someone who cannot be saved. A unique Hellhound armor suit is introduced as part of Strange's plan to bypass the demonic barrier at Banner's lab. While some find it ridiculous looking, it's explained as necessary for the mission. The plan, though seemingly based on fiction, represents their best chance at breaching the lab's defenses. Critical details about a purification spell are discussed, including the importance of precise pronunciation and timing. Getting the incantation wrong could have severe consequences. The spell must be performed when Wanda is in sight and repeated 3 times to subdue her, enough to drain the corruption. Final preparations are made for the mission. The team shows emotional support while emphasizing the importance of being careful. The specialized armor appears to have some connection with supernatural elements that could help with the mission ahead. The mission progresses as they successfully infiltrate the facility and work to deactivate the barrier. The atmosphere is tense as they navigate through what appears to be significantly changed surroundings. Their actions seem to be working, though perhaps too effectively. The aftermath of the rescue shows both celebration and concern. While the team is thrilled about Wanda's return, there's acknowledgement that recovery will take time. The conversation touches on deeper themes of trauma, healing, and the complex nature of redemption. The final moments reveal mixed emotions among team members. While celebrating the successful rescue, there's also reflection on past decisions and worry about the future. Some struggle with guilt over previous actions regarding Wanda, while others focus on moving forward positively. The conversation begins with tension around absorbed dark energy and a cracking collar, suggesting an ongoing power struggle between two beings. One appears to have rescued the other, though the barriers between them seem to be deteriorating. The tone is ominous as they discuss the sustainability of their current situation. Following a difficult night, someone expresses their inability to sleep, haunted by recent traumatic events. They feel unsafe despite being physically removed from danger, describing a lingering connection to someone who still maintains influence over them. The conversation reveals deep anxiety and emotional turmoil. A shared vision of an ancient temple with menacing stone tentacles is discussed. This temple is identified as belonging to Chthon. The vision appears to be significant, as premonitions are mentioned to always come true. One party expresses a desire for revenge against Lilith for past wrongs. The story shifts to a personal history involving chaos magic. Growing up in Transia with a twin brother, they faced persecution and fled from hostile mobs. While the brother stayed behind, believing in positive change, the speaker traveled Europe, developing magical abilities until meeting Agatha. The nature of chaos magic is explained as inherently dangerous and typically forbidden. Its power can alter reality, but is unpredictable and potentially corrupting. Discussion turns to mysterious journals and their connection to Agatha's death, with reluctance to revisit their contents. Plans involving Johnny Blaze and a Parchment of Power are discussed. There is debate between trusting physics versus prophecies to solve their problems. Confidence levels vary among team members regarding their chances of success. Conversation turns to Wanda's situation and relationships within the group. Past doubts and potential betrayals are acknowledged, with suggestions to make amends. The successful purging of Lilith's corruption is noted as unprecedented. Concerns about Tony's fixation on a single solution are raised. While hoping for success, team members discuss the need for backup plans, recognizing the high stakes involved and potential consequences of failure. The scene shifts to observations of supernatural phenomena, including disturbances in Eastern Europe. A mysterious message from Ghost Rider initiates plans involving multiple parties, with warnings about Limbo and emphasis on securing an important page. A tense confrontation unfolds as Hunter is being handed over to someone, apparently as a way to keep them away from the midnight sun. The location appears to be Limbo, and there's clear tension between the parties involved. The situation seems forced and unwanted by those present. The scene continues with discussion about Chthon and an arrangement that was made. Someone is challenging the decisions being made, leading to a confrontation. The atmosphere is hostile as they prepare to test someone's worth. A dramatic confrontation occurs involving agents and unusual entities. Someone is described as being against the rules, with mentions of a mother figure. The situation appears to be escalating, with supernatural elements at play. A battle situation develops involving important pages or documents. Multiple portals have been opened, creating chaos and confusion. The confrontation between characters continues to escalate with mounting tension. The aftermath of the confrontation reveals deception and manipulation involving Blaze and Robbie. There's discussion about heading home and promises of future confrontations. Tension rises around the possession of a powerful parchment. Concerns about handling dark powers emerge, leading to disagreements between friends. The situation becomes increasingly strained. A meaningful conversation occurs near Jeremiah C's statue, discussing burdens and responsibilities. The scene touches on themes of honor and curse, particularly regarding the Midnight Suns and carrying important artifacts. Discussion continues about the dangerous nature of the parchment and dark forces. Someone expresses frustration at being treated like a child and wants to investigate the parchment themselves despite warnings. A scientific approach to understanding the Darkhold is debated, with tension between magical and scientific perspectives. The conversation reveals conflicting views on handling ancient, powerful artifacts. The debate between technology and magic continues, with confidence expressed in solving supernatural problems through scientific means. Professional rivalries and relationships are explored. The book club discusses a complex text with alien concepts, discovering hidden meanings through rhythm and context. The discussion reveals deeper interpretations beyond surface-level content. The conversation delves into Kree history and expansion strategies, explaining their methods of territorial integration and citizen incorporation. Their systematic approach to conquest is compared to agricultural processes. A discussion about book club takes place, with Logan being invited to join. The conversation shifts to discussing a chosen book and its relevance to current challenges involving Hydra, Lilith, and ongoing global threats. There are comments about the Crest propaganda and the importance of maintaining hope, despite seemingly having the upper hand. Agatha is performing a protection spell over the Abbey to guard against the influences of the Parchment of Power. She explains that while the spell can't completely prevent mischief, it can protect against the worst types of harm. The parchment, written by Chthon himself, continues to affect everyone through whispers. A tense discussion occurs about being living weapons and the difficulty of relaxing during crisis. They compare coping mechanisms, noting how fighting helps dull the constant feeling of unease. Therese' concern about team members arguing and the unusual tension among enhanced heroes. A serious conversation unfolds about family loyalty and protection, particularly regarding Blaze and his relationship with Misto. There is discussion about the parchment's influence and Blaze's strength in carrying it for decades without succumbing to its power. The group discovers they've all experienced the same nightmare, which is statistically improbable. Suspicions arise about the parchment's influence on their shared dream experience. There's debate about whether it's a warning or manipulation. The conversation moves to technical matters as they discuss new technology designed to destroy the parchment. Tony Stark has developed a gamma accelerator, incorporating his father's research, promising its effectiveness against the threat. Logan gets welcomed into the group despite his usual loner tendencies. The Abbey is compared favorably to Xavier's school, though noted as spooky. Meanwhile, Tony exhibits excitement about his new invention, while others urge patience for a full explanation. The discussion centers on the technical aspects of the new weapon, powered by gamma radiation. There is consideration of its dual potential against both the Parchment and the Hulk, though focus remains primarily on destroying the Parchment. The team is struggling with shared nightmares and concerning visions, particularly about Hunter. The protective collar seems to be shielding Hunter from potential manipulation by their mother, Lilith. There are differing opinions about whether these dreams are due to Lilith's influence or just the Parchment's effect. Tensions are rising as the team debates the severity of the threat. Discussions about fate and destiny emerge, with some believing their destinies are in their own hands, despite Lilith's influence. The situation is becoming increasingly dire, with Hale no longer approaching but already present. Tony proposes a scientific solution involving a gamma-ray gun to destroy the Parchment of Power. The plan involves channeling energy from Los Diablos, the birthplace of the Hulk, through an accelerator cannon. This area remains saturated with modified gamma energy from previous experiments. The team begins implementing Tony's plan, though with skepticism. Multiple threats approach their position as they attempt to power up the gamma collectors. The situation becomes increasingly tense as they try to hold their position while the technology initializes. The team grapples with the aftermath of Banner's transformation. The Hulk, now under Lilith's influence, fights with unfocused malevolence at a level they haven't seen before. The team recognizes that Banner, who once held the Hulk back, is no longer in control. The situation has escalated beyond what the Avengers can handle, with a doomsday scenario involving supernatural elements. The younger heroes need to take charge now, though there are uncertainties about how to stop Chthon from consuming everyone. The plan isn't fully developed yet, but it's important to keep things quiet to avoid causing additional panic among the Avengers. Discussion reveals that Transia is a nation deeply affected by war and trauma. The mission requires careful consideration to avoid causing further harm to its people. The team is preparing thoroughly, even considering practical matters like bringing proper coffee supplies for the operation. Intelligence suggests Hydra is reinforcing Mount Wandor, once the stronghold of the Knights of Wondergore. The team recognizes this as their target for striking back against the Demon Queen, though there are concerns about past mistakes and catastrophes. The team discovers Lilith's tomb, heavily guarded by Hydra forces. The situation is becoming urgent with creepy manifestations and a demonic Hulk present. The once hallowed ground has been corrupted by Hydra's presence. A mysterious structure has appeared, marking a critical moment in the conflict. The situation has deteriorated significantly, with social media buzzing about an impending apocalypse. The team acknowledges they've reached a crucial turning point. A discussion about leadership styles took place, focusing on George Washington's approach. His clear goals and decisive leadership style were highlighted, though some felt his rigid command structure might be too inflexible for modern situations. The conversation emphasized how true leadership is bestowed by followers, introducing the concept of the mantle of authority. The conversation shifted to discussing modern leadership challenges in non-military organizations, like the Avengers. Leading such groups requires building consensus rather than giving direct orders. The importance of earning trust and demonstrating commitment through actions rather than just words was emphasized. The group wrapped up their current book discussion and planned for next month's selection. Logan suggested reading The Adventures of Crash Morgan, a retro sci-fi story about a space explorer with a robot dog. Despite some hesitation about the choice, the group decided to give it a chance. A heartfelt conversation occurred about being open-minded and accepting change. Two members reconciled past differences, acknowledging mistakes, and expressing mutual regret over previous conflicts. The discussion demonstrated growth in their relationship and willingness to move forward. The conversation turned serious as they discussed the destruction of Transia by the Temple of Chthon. Concerns were raised about potential corruption and dark influences, but reassurances were given about supporting each other through these challenges. The discussion touched on handling apocalyptic situations while maintaining mental health. A tense confrontation unfolded regarding prophecies and family relationships. The discussion revealed complex mother-daughter dynamics and touched on themes of betrayal, redemption, and impending doom. References were made to the Darkhold and a mysterious midnight sun prophecy. A deep conversation about mentorship and personal growth occurred. The importance of having someone believe in you was discussed, along with the impact of positive guidance in overcoming dark tendencies. The exchange highlighted how trust must be earned gradually. Plans were discussed for helping people escape from Transia through magical means. The conversation highlighted improved collaboration during crisis situations and touched on personal growth in challenging times. A conversation reveals that Agatha is present as a spirit or voice, though not fully visible. She wishes to speak with Wanda about important matters, including her death. The connection appears tenuous and limited. Agatha discusses a ritual that could strengthen her connection to the physical world. She mentions that Chthon is growing restless and she needs help performing this ritual. A specific memento is required, though she cannot directly identify what it is, only that it can be found in Sarah's room. A plan is formed to retrieve the memento from Sarah's room without her knowledge. The memento is described as having a painful effect on Agatha's spirit when near it. Hunter is tasked with searching, while others act as lookouts. The search for the memento begins, with careful coordination to keep Sarah distracted. Wanda engages Sarah in conversation about Agatha to buy time for the search. The memento is successfully located, despite the challenges of the covert operation. Discussion returns to the humanitarian crisis in Europe, described as the largest since World War II. There is tension between staying back to manage the big picture versus helping directly on the ground in Transia. The situation continues to deteriorate with limited communication capabilities. The Midnight Suns group begins training together, emphasizing teamwork and coordination. They discuss various combat scenarios and tactical approaches, maintaining a balance between serious preparation and lighter moments. Satellite connection to Transia is restored, revealing Hydra's control and the presence of Lilith's forces. Crossbones issues a challenge, threatening civilians and blocking escape routes. The situation demands immediate action while avoiding obvious traps. A confrontation begins with Crossbones, who is endangering local civilians. The situation escalates as attempts are made to protect escaping civilians while dealing with the immediate threat. The conflict intensifies with the revelation of an explosive device threatening a bridge and trapped civilians. A showdown ensues as efforts are made to both neutralize Crossbones and prevent the detonation that would trap everyone in the area. In an intense situation, there is a desperate attempt to delay a bomb detonation. The scene is chaotic with uncertainty about whether the intervention will be successful. An SC core appears to be overloading, creating a dangerous situation that needs immediate attention. The situation escalates as someone mentions an old man who was always ahead of everyone. There are references to Hydra and a dramatic goodbye scene, suggesting a potentially sacrificial moment. The tension builds as the characters face a critical situation. The ritual begins with formal questions and responses, creating a solemn atmosphere. The Grey Sentinel is mentioned as being tricky to work with. The ceremony proceeds with careful attention to protocol and ritual boundaries. The tension builds as they attempt to bring Agatha back. The aftermath of earlier events is discussed, including a data drive and its implications. Questions arise about potential manipulation and revenge plots. The situation becomes increasingly complex, with multiple layers of intrigue and uncertainty. The data drive reveals detailed files about team members, including their strengths and weaknesses. This discovery leads to strategic discussions about using this information to improve rather than viewing it as a vulnerability. Multiple layers of encryption make accessing all the information challenging. A discussion about recovering lost memories through a mystical ritual takes place. The memories of the final moments before defeating Lilith centuries ago could provide valuable insight for the current situation. Doctor Strange and others will help perform the ritual that requires a mystical jumpstart. The Knights of Intellect and Dimensional Spiritualism, basically an emo kids mystical group, meets to discuss the resurrection ritual. It involves reuniting the physical vessel with spiritual essence, thoughts, hopes, fears, and dreams. The ritual will use Miss Minora's staff and Miss Rasputin's energies. Doctor Strange explains the memory recovery ritual in his typical verbose style. It turns out to be fairly simple, focusing on lost memories while Nico uses her staff and Strange performs incantations. There is a small chance of explosion, but magic can help prevent that by opening a portal to Limbo if needed. The ritual begins with practitioners helping to keep things steady. Brief flashes of memories emerge, running through Abbey grounds alone at night, feeling terrified and rushing toward doom. While the complete memories didn't return, this represents progress, and they can try again at future meetings. A discussion about learning magic takes place. The importance of starting small is emphasized, as diving into advanced magical knowledge too quickly could be dangerous. Reading the wrong grimoire could wipe one's mind and leave them vulnerable to dark entities. Secret magic lessons are arranged. The conversation shifts to Red Skull's mysterious tunnels and Project Gutmorar. Data from Crossbones suggests some tunnels might be ancient. A mission is planned to investigate, with Wolverine leading the way. The encrypted data may reveal important information about Hydra's activities. A reflective moment occurs discussing life beyond constant crisis and the burden of responsibility. The conversation is cut short as duty calls. Wolverine boasts about his tracking abilities as they prepare to explore the tunnels, hoping to discover what interested Red Skull. The exploration leads to a discovery of what appears to be an ambush scene near a vault, likely connected to Project Gutmorar. They encounter creatures described as smelling like death and garbage, suggesting Hydra may have lost control of something dangerous. Combat ensues as more creatures approach. An intense confrontation is taking place involving serpents. The situation appears dangerous and chaotic, with evidence of physical damage, including a punched hole. The atmosphere is tense, with no signs of letting up. The search leads to the discovery of Red Skull's hidden ultimate weapon, protected by an old Enigma lock. After successfully decoding the sequence, an alarm is triggered, suggesting it's best to quickly evacuate the area. The scene shifts to Crossbones' command ship near the Temple of Chthon. A fierce guard dog presents a serious threat, forcing a strategic approach rather than direct confrontation. The situation tests loyalties and friendships as survival becomes paramount. A dangerous chase unfolds with limited options for escape. The pursuit becomes increasingly intense with mentions of consumption and unworthiness, suggesting deeper conflicts at play. A confrontation reaches its climax with an ultimatum to return to Mother in exchange for mercy. The situation escalates into a final showdown, leading to an urgent summons to the Forge. The scene transitions to what appears to be a workshop setting. Tony makes an unexpected appearance at the workshop, showing interest in technical aspects and horsepower. His presence creates an interesting dynamic as he followed Parker, who arrived with gadgets. The situation shows a blend of curiosity and slight tension. The group discusses shop access and boundaries, with Tony promising to maintain a low profile. The conversation reveals a collaborative environment while establishing clear guidelines about involvement and independence. Discussion turns to strategies for dealing with the Hulk, revealing limitations of previous containment methods. The absence of Banner creates new complications, leading to consideration of more extreme measures, including possible space-based solutions. The conversation shifts to the Red Skull's unexpected relevance and the discovery of an artifact beneath Mount Wager. The artifact, known as the God Killer, raises concerns given Red Skull's past involvement with the occult. The God Killer artifact exhibits unusual occult properties, generating visions of Chthon. Debate ensues about whether to study it further or secure it away, acknowledging its powerful nature and inability to remain hidden. A discussion about surviving Hulk encounters reveals brutal past experiences. The current situation with Lilith controlling Hulk presents unprecedented challenges, requiring new strategies for containment. The conversation explores Banner's complex relationship with his alter ego, drawing parallels with personal struggles. Hope for redemption remains, emphasizing the importance of forgiveness and understanding in facing shared demons. The scene shifts to a book discussion about Crash Morgan, analyzing deeper themes and symbolic elements within the story. The group explores character motivations and plot intricacies, revealing unexpected depth in the 1940s narrative. An intricate plan unfolds where Crash and the princess execute a clever switcheroo. The princess dons Crash's suit with an opaque helmet for protection, while a shape-shifted Gorp poses as the princess at the Dow's council meeting. During the meeting, the fake princess declares her love for Crash and deactivates the Magnum mechanical binding. Crash manages to grab the Star Scepter and escape through the monoculus using the Zoom vest. The situation gets totally wild as it's revealed that the shape-shifted Gorp, posing as the princess, can help steer Deus away from war without the Star Scepter. The apparent cliffhanger of Gorp chasing Crash's ship is actually Crash heading back to reunite with the real princess for their escape. This clever plot twist maintains Crash's vows while achieving their goals. The discussion shifts to book club matters. Logan picked this book simply because it's fun, acknowledging that not every book needs to deliver a serious message. There's some talk about putting the book club on hiatus until things become less chaotic, with hopes of returning to it in the future. A deep conversation about relationships emerges. Someone explains their personal rule about avoiding close relationships due to being a vampire. They break this rule with Carol, aka Captain Marvel, because she's uniquely safe from vampire threats. Her incredible strength means vampires can't harm her, making her the perfect exception to the rule. The conversation turns serious as the group discusses someone who might be the only person powerful enough to face a particular threat. Despite concerns about pushing her too hard, they acknowledge she has first-hand experience and more magical power than anyone else available. The group decides to approach her when the time is right. A crisis erupts involving the Hulk. Despite Tony Stark's warnings against engaging the Hulk, who has become increasingly dangerous, military forces proceed with an assault. The situation turns dire as the dark forces within Banner grow stronger, leading to tragic consequences when the warnings go unheeded. Wanda receives praise for defeating Lilith and bringing back Dr. Banner. Toasts are made to both Wanda and the Midnight Suns, acknowledging their crucial role in saving the world. The mood is hopeful as they recognize the promise of the next generation of heroes. A candid conversation reveals deep personal struggles with identity and happiness. The discussion critiques the unrealistic ideal of the perfect suburban lifestyle, comparing it to medieval female enslavement. There's an honest admission about feeling lost between different personas and roles, struggling to find authentic self-identity. The conversation shifts to concerns about Chthon, an elder god with destructive plans to devour everything and remake the universe in his image. After an exhausting battle, there's a need to recharge and rest. The day's events are significant enough to be memorable for a lifetime. The mood lightens with celebratory drinks and playful banter about personality changes. There's recognition of the day's achievements, including successfully dealing with Lilith and helping Banner. The group begins to feel like a real, though somewhat dysfunctional, family unit. A critical situation develops regarding a protective collar that's near breaking point. The revelation comes that it was created using all available ancestral powers and cannot be replaced. This leads to concerns about future protection and safety measures. Bruce Banner returns to the group, expressing remorse for past actions. The team welcomes him back without blame, focusing instead on how his knowledge could help fight against Lilith. The atmosphere is collaborative and forward-looking, with plans for an all-night strategy session. Reports emerge about a worldwide crisis involving green skies, with speculation about connections to the Hulk. Government officials hint at potential drastic measures. The situation appears linked to gamma radiation, marking the approaching fulfillment of a prophecy about Chthon. Banner reveals his connection to Lilith, explaining how her influence remains despite being freed. He shares crucial information about the Abbey's vulnerability and Lilith's larger strategic plans, suggesting her goals extend beyond simple destruction. The origin story of the Hulk is shared, detailing the gamma radiation accident that created the alter ego. Banner discusses the complex relationship between himself and the Hulk, viewing them as separate entities while accepting responsibility for both personas. The conversation concludes with insights about the Avengers and Banner's strategic role within the team. The relationships among the Avengers team are complex but meaningful. Carol and the team have different views on priorities, but maintain friendships. Thor is appreciated for his charm and ability to spar with Hulk at full strength. Tony earns respect by treating everyone normally, despite potential dangers. There is uncertainty about whether the Avengers will forgive past actions. While they have previously been understanding of Hulk-related incidents, the current situation is different, and forgiveness, if possible, will take considerable time. A magical artifact is glowing, seemingly preparing itself for its owner's return. There is discussion about portal spells and magical knowledge, with some playful banter about becoming Sorcerer Supreme. Time is running short to research the God-Killer weapon. Tony and others need to investigate it quickly, as the alternative consequences could be severe. There is conflict over how to handle public communication about the green skies. S.H.I.E.L.D. claims it's not an Avengers-level threat, but others argue for transparency, worried about losing public trust in the age of social media. The midnight sun has arrived, and Chthon threatens to consume the planet. The focus is on saving as many lives as possible before confronting Lilith, with Banner needed back in action. A dramatic revelation about a mother sacrificing her soul to save her child, the first human-blood hybrid. Despite this sacrifice, there remains conflict and mistrust between them. An amazing historical encounter is revealed, a meeting with young Benjamin Franklin by the Charles River. This provides a brief moment of excitement and distraction from current troubles. Logan reflects on his past as Weapon X and how names can shape destiny. He expresses appreciation for new friendships and feels like he's getting back to his former self. A shocking revelation about the God-Killer weapon emerges. It was made from a piece of Chthon himself, sliced off during his last appearance. This creates both concern and potential hope for using it against current threats. The God-Killer weapon shows strange properties, seeming to breathe with power. There is speculation about Red Skull's intentions for it and concern that Lilith might use it to complete Chthon rather than destroy him. The plan to secure the God-Killer weapon is in motion, with intentions to keep it hidden until the right moment to strike at Lilith. There is recognition that humans aren't as bad as once thought. though Lilith has become a monster that must be destroyed to honor her memory. The weapon, made of gold rather than traditional silver, is admired despite concerns about potential reactions to it. The team has prepared extensively for this apocalyptic confrontation, emphasizing their unity as the Midnight Suns. Everyone has worked together to create special cloaks, highlighting how this family of warriors will face the challenges ahead as one unit. They stand ready to storm an impregnable temple and confront the Mother of Demons, but this time they'll do it with style and solidarity. The Order of the Midnight Suns has risen again, uniting an unlikely group of warriors. This is potentially their final stand, with no guarantee of future resurrections. The prophecy hangs in the balance, and the outcome will determine everything. The atmosphere is tense as they prepare for what could be their last mission together. A touching conversation reveals deeper truths about staying connected during the upcoming battle. There's guidance about listening to inner voices for direction and remembering that death isn't truly the end, but a new beginning. The protective collar remains functional, providing some reassurance for the challenges ahead. Important revelations about the truth regarding someone's mother emerge. It's emphasized that she's not entirely the monster she's been portrayed as, having made significant sacrifices. This conversation is meant to provide clarity before the upcoming battle, though some details are left for a future discussion. Emotional support and encouragement are shared between team members as they prepare for battle. The emphasis is on family bonds and confidence in their ability to succeed. The relationship between mother and child is acknowledged as complex, with promises of future conversations about the truth. The team discusses their confidence about the upcoming battle, mixing nervous energy with determination. Spider-Man expresses excitement about being part of the Midnight Suns rather than the Avengers, highlighting the special bond they've formed. Plans for future friendship activities are discussed as a way to stay positive. Team members exchange words of encouragement and support, acknowledging their readiness for the challenge ahead. They discuss overcoming past disappointments and building confidence in their abilities. The atmosphere is a mix of determination and nervous energy as they prepare to face their ultimate challenge. Personal conversations between team members reveal deep bonds that have formed. They discuss their weird little family dynamic and the importance of surviving to maintain these relationships. There is recognition of how the team has come together and grown closer through their shared experiences. The air is filled with tension and uncertainty as the team makes final preparations. Despite the serious situation, there's still room for humor about daily life in the base. Team members express mutual respect and appreciation for each other while trying to maintain emotional composure. In a lighthearted moment before facing serious danger, there was playful banter about uniforms and outdated jokes involving farting crackers. A meaningful exchange occurred where perspectives on life were shared, emphasizing that quality of life matters more than quantity. The conversation shifted towards the urgent task of saving the world. The group encountered ancient gates created by gods long before humans existed. Despite these gates being supposedly impenetrable to all of Earth's armies, they managed to gain entry. Someone recognized the place from their dreams, and a mysterious voice welcomed them as a child they had been waiting for. A powerful weapon was discovered that could potentially end everything. There was tension between different parties, with accusations of lies and deception. Someone was urged to embrace their true self and prepare for the final battle, suggesting deep internal conflicts and competing loyalties. A dramatic revelation occurred about a sacrifice involving 4 souls for 4 gods, chosen from a vessel's mind. This sacrifice was apparently crucial for breaking certain bonds. The plan involved complex supernatural elements and seemed to be reaching a crucial moment. A desperate situation unfolded where someone was trying to save both a world and a child. It was revealed that Chthon's influence had weakened the Hunter's mind. The scene involved supernatural elements, with followers and dark gifts being discussed. A confrontation took place between various parties, including someone of special bloodline and a powerful entity. Despite claims of superiority, there was resistance and determination to fight back. The situation seemed increasingly tense and dangerous. A group showed their solidarity as the Midnight Sun family, standing together against a powerful threat. They demonstrated unity and support for their leader, emphasizing their strong bonds and determination to fight together. The arrival of the Midnight Sun in Chthon marked a critical moment. Combat ensued with various participants engaging in intense fighting, showing both determination and injury in the process. The conflict escalated with supernatural forces at play. There were warnings about energy surges and discussions about Chthon's unique ability to defeat itself, suggesting a complex situation with cosmic implications. An emotional moment occurred between a parent figure and child figure, with revelations about their shared connection to a mysterious book and Chthon. Despite apparent failure, there was recognition of salvation and unity in facing future challenges. The scene concluded with observations about beauty and a surprising teleportation from cosmic crossroads to suburban Massachusetts. The participants reflected on the incredible nature of their experience, suggesting that anything might be possible in their extraordinary circumstances.